Hello, Moronics. This is Zach with the Three Morons podcast. Again, I'm Zach. This is
Bill, Mr. Google.
as you can see, it's just us again this week. It's that time of year, so it's gonna be wishy-washy about who's gonna be here and everything like that. Sorry, clear my throat.
You right? Yeah, let you clear your throat.
It's cold out here.
So it's been a good week for football and especially for college football. The Army Navy game was yesterday. Navy beat Army, and they did. I mean, barely, but they got it. Hey, a win's a win,
They
right?
were down by 10. I think it was 16-6.
16-9. 16-9.
I think at one point it was 16-6 though.
No, 16-7. That's what it was, or something weird like that.
We were down by 16-7, I believe. We were down 9, and then they didn't score another point.
Nope.
So that's always good.
Yep, Navy kicked a field goal and then scored a touchdown right in that end. It's all right.
But yeah, Navy won by 1.
Yep.
But Army needed it, threw an interception. Navy fumbled, but then they found out it wasn't a fumble. When you looked at the replay, it wasn't a fumble.
Yeah.
We didn't get the first down, so we went for it on 4th.
Yep.
Got the yardage, and then can't stop the clock.
Nope.
Under 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. No matter how you win, it matters that you win.
Exactly. Great game for Navy. Great game.
Now on to Cincinnati for them.
Yep.
And then Army, they play somebody, but I don't know who.
Yeah.
But there are a couple 5-7 or 5-win teams in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I want to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Is because Notre Dame's not doing a bowl game, so that's one person that made it out. Yeah. Then you got Kansas State, Kansas. I think they both had 6-game winning seasons. UCF, Temple. I don't know why. Iowa State and Baylor. I know Iowa State won 6 games, could have gone to a bowl. I understand why. Okay, we're going through big coaching changes. We're going through a lot of the transfer portal. We're going to go so far down our depth chart. Again, how many of these people are getting transferring because of the coach leaving?
Right.
They don't want to be there because that was the coach they signed up for. And I agree. If the coach leaves, the players have every right, go ahead, transfer. That's who you signed up to play for because the coach is recruiting you. It's not like some other people are coming.
Right.
Usually the head coach or whoever is recruiting you, you meet with the head coach usually before you sign.
Right.
So they're like the GM pretty much, and that's who you're playing for. So when they leave, I understand there's going to be a lot of people leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes not. Sometimes no, I want to stay with this program. Mm-hmm. We've done well. We can continue without you.
Right.
I don't want to go for a year. Some of these guys might have 3 years left, and that's why they're transferring.
Yeah.
So I understand why they transferred. So I understand Iowa State's reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame, I can kind of understand, but at the same time, join a conference, schedule tougher opponents.
Yeah, but
the end, you'll make it. In if you schedule tougher opponents, you won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you beat Navy, who was ranked at one point.
Yeah.
But you always beat Navy, and when you don't, it's an off year for you. But you won 63-something against the Navy.
My thing is, don't be a petty bitch and just cancel your bowl game because you don't like the college football.
And I understand the
rollout.
I understand they probably asked the players, and a lot of the players like Jeremiah Love. If he's going to the draft, he's not playing if it's not the playoffs. Which I understand. I totally understand that point of view. I understand for Notre Dame, it's we're not in the playoffs. We don't care about anything else. That's fine if that's the case.
Then you should.
But then you need to change a lot of things in the bowls, because if you're not in the playoffs and you're going to be like that because you're upset, and this is what it looks like, and this is probably exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You're upset that you didn't get it, but Miami did. Miami beat you. Mm-hmm. The committee says head-to-head. Now, if you put yourself in the ACC, you were, I think, the same. At the time, I think they were higher ranked than Miami. But again, if that was your only loss and you made the ACC championship game, you would have won the ACC against Virginia or Duke, and you would have been in. And then Miami would have gotten in because they can't put Miami in over you because you won the championship. So that was your automatic qualifier. Mm-hmm. We talked about this before, and I think you just go with the 12 best teams. Mm-hmm. Because, yes, I understand Notre Dame's upset. JMU and them are in. We would kill them. Yes, you would. But right now, that's what their qualifier is. We all agree that does need to change because we don't think JMU and Tulane actually belongs in. Tulane played Ole Miss. I didn't realize this until after the podcast. They played Ole Miss and they got destroyed. They're playing Ole Miss again.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to get any closer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another touchdown.
Right.
Maybe. But we already saw the outcome of that game, and it wasn't close. So to me, to put Tulane in, if they beat Ole Miss and that was going to be their matchup, you should just automatically went, no, they're going to be 12. JMU's going to be 11.
Mm-hmm.
Give Tulane somebody else to lose against. Who would they have gone? Oregon. They're still going to lose to Oregon. Like you lose to Ole Miss, you're going to lose to Oregon. So yes, I think if you would have put Notre Dame in against Ole Miss or Oregon, you have a way better matchup.
Yeah.
And put Tulane in at Oregon. Don't give JMU because you gave a group of 5 already one.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to Notre Dame
Right.
or put Vandy in.
Right.
Or Texas. I think Vandy was the next one. No,
Maybe
BYU was the next one out.
Maybe their thoughts was they want to give a couple extra buys. So they
Yes.
put
But BYU was the next one out.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get rid of the group of 5, it would have been Notre Dame and BYU.
Mm-hmm.
So put BYU against probably Oregon
Mm-hmm.
and Notre Dame against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Oregon probably would have crushed BYU.
Yeah.
Because Texas Tech did.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it would have been closer probably in a better game than JMU.
Yeah.
Or you look at it because now it actually matters. And maybe you go, okay, maybe we only did BYU for a certain reason, but Vandy deserves it better, or Texas.
Yeah.
I think Vandy Oregon or Vandy Ole Miss would have been better. Well, you put them against Oregon, you don't put them SEC first round.
Right.
Or Texas and Oregon. Like those would have been great games. Those two would have been great with Notre Dame versus Ole Miss or Notre Dame Oregon. And even if you put Vandy or Texas against Ole Miss, still going to be a good game.
Yeah.
BYU still a better game.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, Notre Dame, you're whining about how it is, and you're taking extra games away from your players who, by the way, most of the players, because it's not playoffs, are going to sit out that's going to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen this before. We all hate it, but we've seen it.
Yeah.
And I understand the bowl game doesn't matter now because it's not playoff. So your starters can be benched. But now you got next year's starters that could be playing and getting game because you're still playing a good team.
Yeah.
Whatever bowl you got, you'd be playing a good team. So now they're getting extra playing time for next season.
Yep.
I think
you take that away from them.
Controversial take here. I think if you skip your bowl game, you should be bowl ineligible for the next year. I mean, really, you should be bowl ineligible. And
under certain circumstances, like Iowa State circumstances, a lot of people transferring. Would you have enough to actually?
You still have a team enough to play in a bowl game.
But when you got like 20 players transferring, it's one thing.
Right, but they're not transferring until after the season. See, they don't transfer immediately.
World days.
Well, it's fine, but they're still not transferring right now.
Portal day is before the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And all this other early signing period and everything.
Sure.
Now, college ain't football
for their new team until
but
later.
You can't play for that team. That's the problem. When you transfer, you're transferred. Because they have to transfer for college. This is an NCAA. This is college by a certain time, which is during the bowl games, which is stupid because then you can't play for that team because you're transferred to another school. Exactly. That's what people are saying now. They need to move because then you can't do the coaching, right? The coaches that want to stay. Now, let's not talk about Lane Kiffin. Let's talk about the ones that do it differently. Lane Kiffin's always controversial. But people have talked about this, and I've agreed. You move it till after the college football playoffs, but let's face it, most of them aren't transferring from the schools. They just want to playing for the playoffs. Usually they're not.
Right.
Unless they're like, oh, I'm not getting much starting time. I want to go to a school and actually start to show what I got.
Right.
And at that point, you're a second stringer, but now you want to be a first stringer last year of eligibility.
Right.
Move it to like January 15th, January 20th. Give coaches enough time to coach their teams if they're in the playoffs.
Yep.
Now, because again, if you're an offensive coordinator or something and you're getting promoted to a head coach at a new school, now you're not at your old school and you want to help them. But now you're not because you got to focus on early signing day. You got to focus on this. You got to focus on this. You got to focus on transfers. If you get rid of all that until after the college football season and maybe 5 days later to get the coach in, to get the coach to his new place set up a little bit, he can kind of do a little bit throughout the offseason. And then once you lose, you got a little bit longer gap, right? Then you got a way where if you're transferring, you transfer after the season so you can play for your team. If you're a coach, you got, and this is more for the coaching, you got plenty of time to get ready and do this. Like players that are transferring just sit out because they don't want to get hurt, understand, unless you're playing for the playoffs. But they can play, but usually the coaches can't coach.
Right.
And this is more for the coaches. But if you move everything back and colleges work with the programs, I understand they're not going to,
Right.
but if colleges work with the football schedule, it makes it a lot better for their colleges.
Yeah.
Because now you got Lane Kiffin who wanted to stay to coach with Ole Miss, but they're like, no, go. But he was also like looking to poach people, I think. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if he's going to poach because he's going to poach after the season.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like he's poaching during the season, so they'll like get out of the facility. But if you wait till after, you don't care about poaching or anything because at least you got. Because again, the players are going to transfer if they want to play for Lane Kiffin. It don't matter. He's not going to convince extra people. The coach staff, if he wants them to come, he's always going to ask that current coach staff, "Hey, you want to come coach with me at this new school?" But by the way, if you're taking everyone from Ole Miss and just put them in LSU, is it really a different team? Probably not.
Well, my thing is that you don't give them. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have all their phone numbers anyway. It's not like he can't contact them.
Right, and that's why. But he can't. He also really can't be so much focused on Ole Miss because he's got to focus on LSU and the transfers and this and early signing day.
You get two options, right? Either you make the bowl games worth something, or the bowl system's going to go away. There's all these bowl games and all these playoff attempts, for all these teams.
And just think about the bowl games are more for money, right? It's not so much that it means a lot. It means a lot to someone like Wisconsin who would have an off year and not making it, but Wisconsin was having an off year, Nebraska, Iowa, who sometimes they might. It's very rare that'll ever happen, but Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, or lower end teams of the SEC SEC like Kentucky, I think they're in one. Vanderbilt, people like that who aren't going to make the playoffs, but had a great season. So they got one more showcase to prove against good teams. Like I think it's Tennessee or Vandy and Iowa, right? It's one more showcase for the quarterback who transferred from FSC to Iowa to prove that, hey, he's ready for the NFL. You take that away, now they don't got that extra game. Like, hey, I can't play against a good SEC team. Or Michigan. I think Michigan's playing Texas. That's one more for Arch Manning to go out there and prove himself. That's one more for Bryce Underwood next year.
Isn't Michigan playing the game that Notre Dame was supposed to?
I think so.
Because Notre Dame was supposed to be against Texas, I thought.
I think so.
And then they backed out.
And just think, so Michigan has one more game to prove, like, especially without their coach.
Yeah.
That's a downfall. Good Lord. Details are coming out on that, and that is just, it's like, wow, I thought it was just a bad relationship.
Yeah,
no, it's way worse. You're talking felony charges he got charged on. That's more than just, but anyway, inappropriate relations.
Yeah. Say the least.
CTE, right? Like everyone's talking about mental illness. This is a case for mental illness because you don't just do that when you're that high of a coach. There has to be some mental illness in all of that. Not just, I'm better than everybody.
Person that brought it out.
Well, we'll find out way more when this goes on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's one more for Bryce Underwood to play a good Texas team and go, hey, I'm ready next year. I was a true freshman, but look how I developed.
Yeah.
You take these bowl games away, they don't get that. You only get the playoffs. So you have to do something to where teams, like you said, ban them. If you don't have a legitimate reason why you're skipping, Notre Dame doesn't. I think the only team on all that was Iowa State because of the coaching change all of a sudden because he took the Penn State job, even though he was like 10th on the list. Because no one wanted the Penn State job, which is stupid. I think it's a great job to have. I think people are just afraid of these coaches they're looking at are just afraid of Ohio State, Michigan some years. Like if we don't win, we're not going to get in because it's the Big Ten. And but you still look at Oregon didn't win. They're going to get in. Okay, yeah, you got to face Oregon. You got to play Michigan. You got to play Ohio State, and usually two of those teams are going to get in. But that's what this Matt Campbell is like. That's a great stepping stone for me.
Right.
Meaning not stepping stone like, I'm going to leave eventually. That proves how good of a coach I'm going to be because now I'm going to get better recruits than I did in Iowa State.
Yep.
I got the Penn State name. I got the recruits where James Franklin was. Some of them might leave. But I got better recruiting because of the pedigree that James Franklin has brought there.
Yep.
Look, I mean, James Franklin was always in the conversation, even in the playoffs. Yes, he got blown out, this, that, whatever. But he's always in the conversation of the Big Ten. So Matt Campbell going, you're going to still be in the conversation. You're not just going to drop a decline.
Right.
Because unless you don't think you're that good of a recruiter.
It also shows you that these coaches don't believe in themselves because why wouldn't you want to try and get a bigger job? All these guys are like, if I'm not a shoe-in or I'm not going to I know I'm not going to win, they don't go there because they're afraid of what it might do to their career. Well, that tells me that they don't have the mental fortitude or the intestinal fortitude to be able to push through those hard times. Yeah, you may go to Penn State. You may get crushed by Ohio State and Michigan, but at least you tried. You know, they did their best, and that's all you can do. You get fired, you get fired.
My biggest comparison, and if you want to think you're not good, or, I'm good here in a small pond or whatever, and I'm going to win the conference, Kurt Cinetti. Damn, brought them up to FBS 2 years or whatever with FBS. Pretty much could have been their conference champion because of the bans and all this other stuff. Could even go to bowl games unless not enough teams. And that's how I think Missouri State and Delaware got one because so many damn teams declined. So you go to them first because they won 6 games.
Yeah.
Then you go to the 5-win teams. And then maybe 4-win team eventually, which, by the way, if you're getting into where, like, Wisconsin was a 4-win team, you're getting to where 4 win teams are in the bowl games, they're not going to get – you just go, okay, we're not doing this bowl game, and replace that person with somebody else, and you forget, okay, well, we have obligations to the Big 12 and this and this. Now it's like, okay, well, now we just need to fill, and these are just at large. We're putting them in because they're 6-win teams. We don't care about if it's Big 10 versus Pac-12 or this or that. Well, there's no more Pac-12, but Big 10 versus Big 12, this, and this. We're not worried about filling it like that. We're just worried about getting the best matchups. 6-win teams are pretty much 6-6. Yeah. So you go below that. They don't have a winning record. They don't deserve a bowl game. And you're playing a team that might have 7 wins. Yeah, it's a smaller – so maybe you're looking at Nebraska. Say – I think they won 7. But let's just say Minnesota, I think, won 5. I mean, you're looking for a 6-win Minnesota versus an 8-win team. Yeah, Minnesota's in the Big Ten. This other one's in the Sun Belt. But that 7-win team still had a better record.
Right.
And it might be a little bit closer of a matchup because of how good they were in the Sun Belt versus the Big Ten. But when you get to 4-win teams and you're talking like, do we have to put a 4-win team in because we don't have enough? At that point, you cancel that bowl game. You take that other team that you feel that's probably already 6-7 wins, and you put them in where a 5-7 team is and bump them out. I don't care if they're like, well, they're better name. I don't care. They didn't win at least half of their games. Yeah. Because back in the day, you never – I understand it was FBS and it wasn't college football playoffs, but you never had a 5-win team in because people weren't – I was talking about 5-6 years ago. Yeah. You had the playoffs. They took some bowls away, which is fine. You still had the same amount of bowl games except for the extra playoff game. Right. When you went to this, you still had 2 bowl games. You didn't have a Rose Bowl, and then you didn't have the Rose Bowl as a bowl game, right? It was a Rose Bowl and a Citrus Bowl. Those were no longer bowl games. Yeah. But you still had teams going because not a lot of teams were pulling out. Right. Players were pulling out, not teams. Right. We got over the fact that players were pulling out, like Christian McCaffrey and them was like one of the first big ones. Yeah. And then it went downhill, and they're like, okay, well, that's what happens, right? I mean, it happens in the Pro Bowl every year. That's what happens. But now you're talking about actual teams pulling out. And so now you have to put them in with people who aren't going to get – Wisconsin might get viewership because it's Wisconsin. We want to see our team. But I'm not going to sit there and watch a bowl game on a Tuesday when I got other stuff to do, even if it's Wisconsin, because they suck this year.
Well, and that's the thing, right? There's too many bowl games. You've diluted the system.
I don't think there's that many this year when you look at it because a lot of it's the playoffs, which is fine.
Still, it's one of those things, right? And you're going to play through those bowls, but you've lost what? Think about it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. So that's 12 big bowls that are gone.
I mean, just think about, first of all, South Carolina State and Prairie View won the HBCU Bowl, I call it. 40-38, 4 overtimes. Yeah. That's a great bowl game. That's a great bowl game. But then you had Washington versus Boise State. Washington won 38-10 in that bowl game. That was ridiculous. The next bowl game start December. Like, think of these names. Troy and Jack State. They're both 8-5. Most people aren't going to watch them, right? Old Dominion, South Florida. That's a decent bowl game. They're both 9-3.
Yeah,
Old Dominion, Old Norfolk people in that area.
People in Norfolk, people in
South Florida, but there's a lot of people who like UCF or USF, and we might watch it a little bit because, again, just their name, though, right? But Louisiana, Delaware, they're both 6-6.
Yeah,
I might watch it because it's Delaware because they just became FBS.
Right.
So because of that, Missouri State, Arkansas State, and the Xbox Bowl. That's a new bowl, by the way. The Xbox Bowl. The last couple of years.
Doesn't need to be a bowl.
Kennesaw State, Western Michigan. Kennesaw State has a name because people, when college football this year came out, if you pick them as a school, they get extra money, the majority or whatever. So I was like, dude, Kennesaw State, they get a little NIL, jokingly, right? Like, talk about horrible programs, but they're 10-3 versus 9-4.
Yeah.
Memphis, NC State. That seems like an okay name.
Okay, yeah.
You know, Alabama, Oklahoma's a playoff game. Miami, Texas, Tulane, Ole Miss. Here we go. Semifinals. Montana versus Montana State for the FCS. That seems more interesting than James Madison and Oregon.
See, it's just the only people watching that bowl is going to be people from Montana. Nobody else cares.
It's the FCS championship. It's the tournament.
Oh, okay.
It's their playoffs. It's the semifinals. But they played earlier this year in a rivalry game. So, yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah.
It's also better than – here's the other semifinal that's on at the same time as James Madison and Oregon. Illinois State versus Villanova. I might watch that over James Madison and Oregon because that's probably going to be closer. Yeah. Again, Illinois State beat North Dakota State. Yeah. So that's more interesting. And then Monday you have Washington State, Utah State, 6-6 teams. Yep. The winner of the Pac-12, that's only 2 teams. Yeah. Like, no one's going to really watch that. No. Toledo, Louisville and Toledo are both 8-4. But Louisville had a tougher schedule. Yeah. They beat Miami. Yeah. They're probably going to crush Toledo.
Yeah, they're going to run them over.
No one's going to want to watch that.
Not particularly, no.
Western Kentucky, Southern Miss. Let's see. It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday, December 23rd.
Tuesday night?
I'm working. Yeah. I don't care what I'm missing these days. UNLV, Ohio.
Yeah. UNLV, Ohio. Ohio's just not – they're just not that good of a program right now.
Here's your Christmas Eve game. Cal and Hawaii. Don't care about any of those teams. Like, no one cares. No. Central Michigan, Northwestern is the day after Christmas. New Mexico, Minnesota, and FIU and UTSA.
UT San Antonio?
Yes. Nope.
None of those games are.
New Mexico, Minnesota, maybe, only because of Big Ten clout. Yeah. That's it. Northwestern, Central Michigan. Again, 6-6. 6-6.
Half the bowl games we've discussed so far could be just nixed completely.
Like, half of these I don't care about. Yeah, it used to be good teams in the bowl game, but because of the playoffs, you're taking a lot of these great matchups until closer to the date.
Right.
Like, here comes one. Not this one. It could be good. Pitt versus East Carolina in the Military Bowl at Annapolis. That should be a decent one. They're both got names. Like, everyone's heard of ECU. Everyone heard of Pitt. They're both 8-4.
Yeah.
I might watch that.
Who did they play this year? Nobody.
Pitt did. Remember, Pitt was like, we could lose by 50 against Notre Dame. I don't give a shit. That game don't matter. And then he took it into the next game, and they lost by 50 on that one too, and that one mattered. When your coach says we don't care if we lose because it's not a conference game, yeah, you can lose every game for all I care. Penn State versus Clemson. People are going to watch that game, but they're both sucked this year.
Yeah.
Penn State was 6-6 and Clemson was 7-5. Like, you're talking about horrible years. Yeah. One of them had a Heisman Trophy watch list, Klubnik, and he obviously didn't perform if you're 7-5.
Yeah. Well, he could have.
It's not all the quarterback's fault, but I guarantee you some of it is. Like, you don't just go 7-5 if you have a good quarterback. Arch Manning's an okay quarterback, and they went better than 7-5. UConn and Army. UConn. They're 9-3, first of all. That's crazy for UConn.
Yeah. But if Army just played like they did against Navy, I think
they're going to win.
Got a good chance.
They've gotten better. Yeah. Here we go to a good bowl game. Georgia Tech, BYU.
Okay.
That's a good one. Yeah. BYU could have been in the playoffs. Georgia Tech at the beginning of the season we're talking about could be good. Yeah. It dropped a little bit, but they're both ranked 22-12.
Yeah.
See, they're ranked 12th, by the way. BYU is ranked 12th and didn't get a playoff spot because of the automatic bids. Miami, Ohio, Fresno State.
Of Ohio and Fresno State, who cares?
Exactly. And then you got North Texas versus San Diego State. People watch because North Texas was doing good this year.
Yeah.
You're from that area. I mean, you're not
a lot of viewership just because it's the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But other than that, Fresno State, really?
Here's one that could be a decent watch. Virginia versus Missouri.
Virginia, Missouri. Okay.
Missouri played okay this year. They were 8-4, but I mean, Missouri is usually horrible.
Yeah. One of those.
Virginia's 10-3. They're ranked number 19.
Yeah, neither one of those are football colleges, in my opinion.
LSU, Houston. Maybe LSU's coming in. They fired their coach, obviously.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, Houston was ranked 21.
Yeah.
People might watch that.
Compelling, at least.
But I'm just talking about the names, not even the rank, right? Yeah. The average football fan might watch them. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. 6-6 Georgia Southern versus 5-7 App State. No one's watching that game. It might be close because of the record, but no one's watching that game. App State, you might go to it because of App State, but they were a losing record.
Right.
And then you got Coastal and Louisiana Tech. 6-6, 7-5. I like Coastal Carolina because the chandeliers and all that stuff. Since like a March Madness, random March Madness, I like them.
Yeah.
Sorry, my watch was going off, and I was like, "Who is messaging me? I don't see it." Tennessee, Illinois, both 8-4. Might watch that game. USC, TCU. Here we go. And then you got Iowa, Vanderbilt. Going to be a great game. Arizona State, Duke. Going to be a good game. Duke won the ACC. People are going to watch that.
Yeah.
Michigan, Texas, probably the best matchup outside of any playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska, Utah.
It's Nebraska, so you're going to
7-5 and 10-2. You might get them to see, hey, can they beat a 10-2 Utah?
Yeah, but
Utah was 15th. I mean,
were they?
I mean, they're in the Big 12. They just lost probably 2 teams in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Rice and Texas State. Rice is 5-7. Texas State 6-6. No one cares. Yeah. Navy, Cincinnati. You're going to get it because the Navy and Armed Forces are going to watch it.
And Cincinnati's not a bad team.
No, they're not. Arizona, SMU. Seems like it could be a good matchup.
Yeah, SMU's had some decent seasons.
Wake Forest, 8-4. Mississippi State, 5-7. Wake Forest could probably wipe the floor with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about they both won ACC. Remember, they're not as strong as the SEC. So, therefore, it shouldn't be that good of a game. You weren't that good in that team. And then that's it. And then you got all college. That's a lot of bowl games that's not college football playoffs. You could cut at least half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think you're
struggling to put people in it.
What you should do to redo the bowl system is get away with the 6 wins, whatever. You have to win 7 games.
Right.
You get rid of half of those bowl games to make it. I want to say you put people like Iowa, Vanderbilt, all of them still in because you're rewarding them because they're still going.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're going to do it where if you're like an NIT tournament, right? But not an NIT playoffs. You take the rest of the top 25, you put them in some bowl games, and then fill them in with like Nebraska or Minnesota or whoever, just to get the extra bowl games if you need some. Because obviously, if you're putting 12 in, there's 25, there's 13 teams that don't get in.
Right.
That's 13, right? Like there's 13 teams that don't get in the top 25. That's not an even number. So you have to put at least one more in.
Right.
You put like, so say, I'm trying to think of who wasn't ranked that was up there. Maybe Duke because they won the ACC. Sure, put them in. Whatever. They still won, I think, like 8. They were 8-5.
Yeah.
So you put them in. Or you put in, say you left James Madison off this list. They would be part of the top 25, so that doesn't matter. Maybe you put Duke against like a James Madison or Tulane or something to give James Madison or Tulane a little bit of a chance.
Right.
You put in one of the best of the rest, I would call it. So, like, I'm trying to think who was like 8 wins. Illinois, 8-4. Put them in, right? Put whoever you would think number 26 would be. And then that's your bowl games. You got they don't play for a tournament. They just play one game. So you got like Texas and Michigan.
Right.
They're both ranked. You put them in. All right. You put them in like the NIT bowls.
Right.
And then whoever wins, they just win. They don't go on to go, oh, well, we're the best of the rest. No, you just put the best of the rest in a bowl game to give them extra opportunity. Everyone else, no.
Right.
That's the only way you correct this to make it more valuable for a bowl game. Like, oh, we get that extra game because we were good.
Yeah.
Now, if someone like Notre Dame turns it down, then you do that penalty.
Sure.
Hey, you don't get a bowl game for the next year.
Yeah.
Unless you make the playoffs, you're not even invited. And I would ban them for the playoffs if you're not going to play the bowl game, unless you have a reason of, oh, we're going through so many damn changes, we're not going to be competitive.
But even then, I think that you should still be able to, because you're not going to, unless the coach leaves, but you've always got contingencies for that. There should be some continuance of operation that should allow for a team to be able to
leave
play.
is no. If the coaches leave, your players, because they're not changing the portal every day. If your players are transferring and not coming back, and they're going to be like, I'm going to sit out because I want to stay healthy. That because they're already transferring, that's not the school's fault. But if you got so many of those, like 20, and the coach, okay, sit out because you're not going to be competitive.
Right.
Sit out. Like, that's fine. You're admitting you're not going to be competitive.
Right. But
Notre Dame doesn't have a reason not to be.
Right. But like you said, right, most top 25 teams are not going to be losing their coach.
Right. This is a special case because I don't think if Penn State got their guy from BYU or whoever.
Right.
BYU ended up being one of their top guys, but Crumble Cookie's like, no, we're going to give all this money to keep them. And so many people donated to keep the Mormon church. Like, so many people put money in to keep paying him what Penn State was going to pay him.
Right.
That's how valuable they thought the BYU coach is. And I don't hate that. Like, you want to keep your coach and you need to pay him more money. I don't hate the fact that Mormon church is getting Crumble Cookies. Keep your guy. If that's your guy, you keep it.
Yep. No, absolutely.
But like I would say, this was just a rare thing. Like, usually you would find out weeks in advance and everything. But again, if it happens and the coach is transferring and 20 plus players are transferring because they really love the coach, and you already know you're not going to be competitive, I agree with missing the bowl game.
Sure.
And then that's when you would like, okay, so Iowa State's now pulling out, but they're not going to be penalized. Now we got to find 2 more people, whatever.
Right.
But Notre Dame, they're going to be competitive. So you pulling out, you don't get a playoff next year.
Yeah.
And then you'll stop seeing teams pull out of these bowl games that are up there. Temple, you want to pull? Cool. You're not going to make any of the other bowl games anyway.
Right.
Because and I don't mind if you pull out of a bowl game like the Bahamas Bowl, because no one watches the damn Bahamas Bowl.
So the Bahamas Bowl shouldn't exist anyway.
I don't think they do anymore, but it was one of the bowl games that kicked off the bowl season.
Yeah, I remember.
And sure, I'll watch it if I have nothing else to do that day. Sure, usually it's competitive. It's great to see nice warm weather when I'm out here in negative 10 degrees looking out it's freaking snow. Sure, love it. But I don't mind pulling the smaller bowl games like the Cheez-It Bowl. If you still want to give a little bit of that, I'm fine. But you got to get competitive teams. That's why I said you do like the NIT bowls. And if it goes down to, okay, well, this is what we rate. This is our rank our bowls, right? We always put the best teams in these bowls, like New City, this, Cheez-It. Those are your other, 7 bowl games. Those are your other 7 bowl games. And then it gives just that extra game. And then you start penalizing the team to pull out because they didn't make the playoffs.
Right. My thing
because
is
they're going to be competitive.
Right. The bowls are, in my opinion, the bowls should be for the fans, not for the teams.
And when it was just the national championship, it was great because no one pulled out, or players might have, but no teams pulled out.
Right.
When it was a 14 playoff, no teams pulled out because they still wanted to show what they had for next year.
Right.
Like, just think, when it was 4 teams, Florida State did not make it and they were undefeated. They played. Some of their starters didn't play, but they played the bowl game.
Right.
They didn't go, well, we're not good. They're the ones that could have been like, we're not playing the bowl game. Notre Dame doing this. If Florida State did it when it was a 14 playoff, none of us would have batted an eye because they got screwed because Alabama got in with one or 2 losses, I think, that year.
Yeah.
And Florida State was undefeated. It was 1 loss. And Florida State was undefeated and won their conference championship. You put them in over Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't care. It was 1 loss. They didn't lose. I don't care if it's, they played a tougher schedule. Don't matter.
Right.
They didn't lose a damn game. If Florida State pulled out, though, none of us would bitch about it.
Right.
We would say the committee, look at what you did.
Yeah.
You did this, and now you're robbing us of Florida State versus Alabama, or Florida State versus Georgia, or whoever would have been Florida State's opponent that they could have walled up, beat them up, and now we won't get this game because you decided. I think a lot of starters did sit because they were upset.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. But at the same time, I would have gone in there as a coach. No, you're playing.
Yeah.
And we're going to whoop whoever they put us in front of us and go, we should have been in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
make a statement.
Don't bitch out. Make a statement.
And after that, by the way, they start sucking.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. You screw that program over because people looked at it and go, why would I want to go there? Because they went undefeated. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
Now, granted, now they would because it's 12 teams. They're going to make it. But that screwed the program.
Yeah.
They screwed the ACC at that moment because people are looking at the ACC going, I don't care who it is. I'm not going to – like Miami. If Miami didn't get in over Notre Dame, you really screwed the ACC.
Because that was the year that you had 3 SEC teams and Ohio State, right? And then Ohio State – I thought it was Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson and Ohio State that year, right?
Well, Clemson's ACC.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
So
Clemson should not have made it because they didn't win the ACC title.
So who was it that year then?
I think it was Alabama, Georgia.
Ohio State.
Was it Oregon?
Or Michigan. Was it Ohio State or Michigan? Because I knew it was a Big 10 team.
Oklahoma or Texas.
Yeah, okay.
They were Big 12, I think, before they went to the SEC. But either way, you're talking about the fact that you put two conference teams in there when it should have been the Power 5, but the Power 4. Because I don't know if the Pac-12 was in there because I think Oregon was still part of the Pac-12. And it might have been the Pac-12. One person was getting left out, and they weren't going to leave the SEC out. That's all I know. I think there was one SEC team. I think every conference champion went.
Right.
But when you leave one team out, and it's an undefeated team, that's why they went to the 12th.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, we can't do this again.
Yeah.
We can't let this happen again. We got to. And I think that's what made it go to the 12. I think it should have gone 8, not 12.
Mine 12.
But the only reason 8 is because you could get the best matches with the top 8. If you got, at the time, 5 conference champions, because Pac-12, I think, was still around. But you're talking about the Power 4 and then at larges, and then you only give it to the conference champion unless the conference champion's like Duke, then you give it to Miami.
Right.
Get the automatic because they're the best Miami, and they're in the top 10.
Right.
Then you would still miss Notre Dame. But if you're talking about 8 teams this year, you're talking about Indiana getting it. You're talking about Ohio State getting it. You're talking about Texas Tech getting it. Then you're talking about Georgia getting it because they won the SEC. Then now you got to figure out 8 teams. Well, you're talking about Ole Miss. You're talking about Texas A&M. You're talking about Oklahoma.
Take the next 4 highest ranked teams in the top 25.
You're talking about maybe Miami put in for the ACC.
Sure.
Throw them in. So Oregon wouldn't get in, but Texas Tech got in, right? Because you're talking about these 4 on the bottom, and you're talking about these 4.
Yep.
Right? Well, out of these 4, okay, you take Ole Miss out and you put Miami in because Texas A&M or Ole Miss, and you leave Texas A&M out because you're talking about 3 SEC schools. Now you don't need it.
Right.
So Miami gets in over the other one. And then you got Oregon, Oklahoma, another SEC school. So you definitely take one of these out. And then you don't give the automatic qualifier to the group of 5.
Right.
But enough about that. Let's talk about the Heisman.
All right. Before we go, one last thought on the playoffs or bowl games is either revamp the bowl system or get rid of it. One or the other. Those are the only 2 options that are left.
Because I like the extra games every once in a while.
Yeah, but I agree. But like I said, those are the only 2 options that are left, right? You cannot keep running it the way that it is because it's not good. It's not good for college football. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for anybody. It's really not good for those bowl games or for anybody else. So anyway, all right. So Heisman, Zach called it correctly. Mendoza from Indiana, excuse me.
The first ever Heisman.
Yep.
Like I said, Chris Cincinnati, dude. That guy just solidified he is going to be there forever if he wants to be, as long as they don't take a big dip, because he knows how to recruit.
Yeah.
He was in James Madison, came to Indiana. The worst. This is what I hear a lot of podcasts. And everywhere. I probably agree. The worst college football program, at least in the Power 5 or Power 4 conferences, or even in the FBS period.
Right.
In college football history. I mean, Indiana's never been on the blip. You talk about their best seasons being like maybe 8 wins, maybe 7 wins, right?
Yeah.
Someone can Google it. We don't have a third person here, so it's kind of hard for me to Google. I'm talking about it. But you talk about one of their best seasons, never, maybe if you're lucky, 10 back in like the 30s.
Right.
But you're talking about the worst college football program, and they were a punching bag.
Yeah.
You're talking about they go in and they play a Purdue game, and Purdue's actually favored, right? You're talking about Wisconsin season on the schedule, like, okay, who we got the week after?
Yeah.
Like, everyone looked at them as a bye. To now, I think in 2 years, he's lost 2 games, baby.
Yeah.
Two last year, undefeated, went in, beat Ohio State when everyone's like, oh, they only play JV and high school teams and Purdue, like they schedule nobody. And first of all, they scheduled one FCS team.
Right.
One. Everyone else is just a lower FBS, but they're FBS teams. So the dude I follow on Facebook, I watch Pat Cutler. He said he wanted to make a video because it's the most locked pick of the year is Ohio State beating Indiana. They only play high school. Then he said he wanted to make a video, so he needs to stop talking about football.
Yeah.
I get mad at him because it's like, dude, you're talking about all the damn cupcake freaking SEC teams are FCS.
Right.
They scheduled 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They did not schedule but 1. But guess what? They still beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Who didn't schedule, I don't think, an FCS opponent.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Ohio State. They showed they're legit, and he still thinks he's still going there. Well, they're going to find out they don't play a horrible Ohio State team in a bad.
Whatever.
Why is it a horrible Ohio State team? Because they lost.
Yeah, they're a legitimate national championship.
Now I want them to win it all.
Yeah.
Screw my bracket. I don't give a shit. I want them to win it all because I want. Yeah, they might lose to Oklahoma. You're right. They might because Oklahoma plays the week before against Alabama.
Yep.
Alabama and Oklahoma could easily wipe through Indiana because they had a week and they played tough competition.
Yeah.
Totally understand that. And if this year, those 4 teams, if 2 of them in the bye do not get in, the bye is going to go away. You're going to see 4 extra teams added. You're going to have a 16-team playoff because you're not going to want to bye because your best teams, yes, they get practice, they get this, whatever. They don't know who they play until the game's over.
Right.
And by that point, that team already knows they're playing Indiana. So now Indiana's got to start practicing for that team. So like before that, you're practicing for Alabama and Oklahoma.
Right.
But they also had a game.
Right.
They also got warmed up, had a tough game. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to Indiana, and now you're focusing on Indiana. Right. They didn't get that long of a break. Mm-hmm. Indiana's got a week break.
Right.
This, and that. Their focus isn't on any one team. You have to prepare for 2. Yes, the team before them is only preparing for 1, but they've gotten that game. You see it in the NFL. Mm-hmm. The buys, yes, you want the buy because now the buy is the number 1 seed. So now the playoffs go through you and everything like that. There's 7 teams, so there's 1 buy, all that, whatever. You don't get that in college football to where I think last year was the same thing. The bye teams, some of them lost.
Right.
Now, yes, you think they're the best teams that are going to get it. But the NFL, they're grown adults, they're this, but they start off staggering in the bye.
Right.
The bye team can win the Super Bowl, the number 1 seed, or go to the Super Bowl. But that first week, you think, oh, man, maybe they're not as good. No, it's just the wild card team had an extra game.
Right.
They stayed focused.
Mm-hmm.
You're focused, yes, when you're practicing and getting ready because you got that bye, but you're not as focused as a team.
Right. So circling back to Mendoza winning the Heisman.
Right.
What makes you believe that he was the best guy over
he had a great season.
Okay.
Phenomenal season, actually. I mean, some of those get passes. You saw the Ohio State game?
I don't know if I didn't get a chance to watch that one.
Those passes. I mean, yes, some of those are the receivers, but some of those catches in the end zone and stuff is like you're catching it inbounds or your foot's going to be out of bounds. But either way, you're the only one that has a chance at this kind of throws, right? Those are NFL quality throws. And those receivers just as well could have been in the Heisman the way those catches were because you're just like, how the hell did he bend backwards to get his feet in? But again, he made the throw to where only he could catch it.
Yeah.
Or where he was the only person. Well, if the receiver stepped out, it's cool, whatever. Like, okay, well, the way Mendoza throws it. Yeah, but the way he threw it was you're catching it or it's going to be incomplete. It's not going to be intercepted in key moments. Right. They're down to Ohio State. He goes down the damn field and scores, right? Like, and they didn't ruin the game. I think he threw a pick, so I didn't say it. My idea was whoever won that game, as long as they played a clean game, right? Mm-hmm. Like, meaning like you didn't throw 3 interceptions and whatever, and you didn't buckle under pressure. But yet you won because of defense. Mm-hmm. And they won, but offense also made a play when they needed to. They're going to win the Heisman. So if they threw a $150, 12 for 20, and a touchdown, they're going to win, right? But if you threw for 95 yards, your team won. You threw 2 picks.
Right.
I don't care if you're 20 for 22 and the 2 bad picks plays were the interceptions. You threw for 95 yards and no touchdowns.
Right.
They won despite of you,
Mhm.
right? Then I don't think they were going to win.
Yeah.
It could have been the other team. Like, so say Mendoza had 2 picks, no touchdowns, 95 yards, and the stat I get. But Sane had 150 yards, a touchdown,
Right.
and 1 interception,
Mhm.
and they lost. But they didn't lose because of the interception. Say the
Right.
interception led to no points,
Right.
and they lost by 10
Mhm.
because the defense of the other team just stopped the run, stopped this, and you had to get Sane. The Sane got a touchdown, but they lost by 7 or 10. I would still say Sane would have won because he had a better game.
Right.
And Indiana would have been like, well, we won. Why didn't Mendoza win? Because they won despite of you.
Right.
But they never did that. I don't think any of their games Mendoza played that bad.
Right.
His stats were up there for Heisman, right? So wasn't saying. That's why. So wasn't Diego from Vandy. It just they didn't get the game. If they played the SEC championship game, Diego might have won. But because they didn't play the SEC championship game, that's why I said whoever is going to be Mendoza because they won.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good. He's well deserved. I don't think this is one of those ones that you can controversy go, oh, this running back was better or this was better. This is one where you go, no, he deserved it. So that's I don't know the other awards. I just saw the Mendoza one yesterday, and I was like, oh, cool, perfect. I picked it. But I think everyone will pretty much, if you bet on it, I think you get 50 cents back on the bet. I think if you bet $10, you would have got $10 or 50 cents back. I think that's how good his Heisman odds were by last night or by last Sunday.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Next is NFL. So this week your Packers are playing Denver,
and they're 1-7 on the road against Denver.
Yeah, right.
They're not good. They're never good against them. I think Denver's going to win.
Mhm.
Yeah, Denver doesn't play a lot of great defenses and this and stuff.
Yeah.
It's got to be the altitude. I think Denver's going to pull this out. I think Packers are a great defense. I think the Packers are going to disrupt Bo Nix, and we'll find out a lot about Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams did a phenomenal job, and they still lost because, I mean, you say what you want about that game. Yeah, you could have ran it, or you got to see from Caleb Williams' eyes. He saw a little bit of Packers coming. Oh, DJ Moore. Yeah, he can't see to the far right. He's looking this way. He doesn't have time to look that way because then that way would be taken away.
Yeah.
He saw the guy open. He threw it. It was a bright pass. He should have started a little bit earlier, but he underthrew it. Bad play. Hell of a quarterback. I'm saying this right now. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson have a great future in Chicago. As a Packer fan, it's going to be for years to come like a 3-way, even 4. It's going to be the toughest division in football if the Vikings can figure it out right now because they just dropped. But the Lions up there, Dan Campbell, great coach. As much as I hate LaFleur and hate his play calling, still great coach. They still find a way to win. Who cares? Even though if I don't think Jordan Love can win us a Super Bowl, it don't matter. No one thought Trent Dilfer could probably win them the Super Bowl. And then the Bears are up and coming. They still have a chance to win the division.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, they're going to start falling down now. You'll see. No, they play the Browns.
Yeah.
They should win that game. They play the Packers again in Soldier Field. Probably win that game. Their hardest competition, I think they got the Lions again.
Yeah, and the Lions, I think, are right now de facto central winners right now, I think. They are the best team.
Well, right now, the number 1 team is the Packers.
Oh, are they? Oh, I
Lions
thought
are third in the division.
Are they really?
They have to have the Bears lose. They got to beat the Bears at the end of the year.
Okay.
And Packers have 2 really tough games. 3 really tough games.
Oh, I remember that conversation from last
They play the Browns.
Yeah.
Then they play the Bears again, which is, again, still tough. I don't care if the Bears have 1 win. It's still tough against your division rival. Then they play the Ravens, who aren't good, but they're finding ways to get their 6-6. I mean, you never know when Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry had that 1 game again.
Right.
And then you play the Vikings, which, by the way, that might be their 1 win.
Yeah.
They might not win another game until then. Who knows? I think they should beat the Broncos.
Yeah.
Lose to the Bears because it's in Chicago. I think they'll lose to the Bears.
Okay.
Because, again, who won the last game? The Packers. So you're looking at it not making much changes because you won that game.
Right.
Who's going to make the changes the most? The Bears.
Yeah.
I think the Bears are probably going to win that game because I think you're back into where they start splitting games.
Right.
Or they might win 2 this year but the next year the Bears will split again or win 2. Like you're talking, this is going to be the next 5 or 10 years where these are going to be very toss-up games. Because that offensive line has gotten way better. Like it didn't look good, but Caleb Williams, yes, he can scramble, but he looks to pass before he scrambles, and that's the difference between him and Lamar Jackson. That's why Lamar Jackson probably have an off year because people know he's going to rather run when he starts scrambling. Caleb Williams rather throw.
Yeah. That's what quarterbacks are supposed to do.
Right. And then you got the Vikings, which you should win. So you should, if you win at least 2 of these games, I think you're good. So as long as you win, the worst thing could be in the division is 4-2.
Right.
And they might not even win the division at 4-2.
Right.
But I think they're going to go 5-1. And they're going to win 2 of the last 4. I think they're going to beat the Ravens and the Vikings back-to-back weeks. Because I think if you lose this week and lose to the Bears, you're gonna need back-to-back wins to get in the playoffs. Right. NFC stacked. Yeah. When you talk about the Bears are 4 losses, and they're 7th.
Yeah,
crazy. A 6-win team will not make the playoffs in the NFC.
That's good,
most likely.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I think the Super Bowl is coming out of the NFC. Yeah. I mean, you got the Eagles who are. Luckily, they're 4. I think they're 3. No, they're 3 because Tampa Bay and Carolina and stuff. They're 3. Packers are 2 and Rams are 1 right now. But then you look at the NFC. On top of it's all the Patriots.
Yeah,
but they're playing the Bills today, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if they're legit or not. So I thought Seattle was doing better than they are. I was thinking earlier in the season that
they are still doing great.
Right,
but I think they got 4 losses, but I think they're a wild card team right now.
Because I was thinking the Super Bowl was going to run through Seattle earlier in the season,
but the Rams would have stepped it up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fight for that division. It's gonna be a fight for the NFC North. I think the winner of the Super Bowl will probably be the NFC champion. Whoever wins the NFC tie, because you could have the Rams Chicago, you could have the Rams Seattle, you could have Packers Seattle. For the love of God, if it's Packers Seattle, don't do a fucking onside kick, Packers, please.
Right?
Did that in the playoffs one year? It didn't work.
What about
No, the Seattle did the onside kick and it went through our hands.
Is it possible for Green Bay and Chicago to?
So I think it'll be possible because I think they're.
Fight for the NFC?
I think if they do that last time that happened, Packers won that game. They weren't division champs.
Right.
They won in the NFC Championship game when I won the Super Bowl. So I'll be okay if we're not division champs if we play them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great fight. I think the Chiefs are gonna miss the playoffs.
I think so too. I think this is they've just had too bad of a year.
I mean, they're still in the hunt, but if you look at their record and who they play, they play the Chargers today. I think the Chargers win that game. And then if you look on the following weeks, let's look at the following weeks for them. I don't think any of them's in their favor.
No.
They're 6-7, by the way. They play. There we go. Chargers are 9-4, so they have to win the division. They have to win this game. Then they play the Titans, which they can win, but then they play the Broncos and the Raiders. You're talking about 2 more wins. They're going to be 8. Wait, 2 more wins. 1, 2 wins, and 2 more losses.
Right. Oh wow! If the playoffs were to start
8-9,
yeah,
they're gonna be 8-9.
8-9. Shit, really?
So they're gonna get 2 more wins, makes it 8, and they're probably gonna get 2 more losses. Chargers and Broncos. They lose today. They can't win the division because the Broncos are 11-2. If they lose today, they're 6-8. You're talking about 4 more games left? The Broncos could be the worst of 6.
Yeah,
they can't win the division now. They're out of the division. They're going to be out of the playoffs. If they lose tonight, I have a feeling they're going to be not legitimate, like mathematically out, but they're going to need a lot to happen to make it. That is crazy. And you're talking about the Eagles not even doing great.
Yeah.
But it's playoffs started today.
Playoffs started today. Green Bay and Chicago would be playing.
Yes, that's right. And you know what? That's probably going to end up because I think if Green Bay was the wild card, they were 6 or 5. Just because of the tie.
Yeah.
So you could see an opening round in Green Bay, Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I really hope Green Bay loses against Chicago, because if they lose against Chicago and at least they play, they're 1-1 versus 2-0. Because when it's 2-0 and you play the team in the playoffs, you usually lose because you can't win 3. It's hard to win 3 games against your division.
Yep, especially in the exactly.
I think if you look up the stat, and I can look this up for next week, I don't think it fares well for the team who's won twice.
No, not at all.
Because again, you won twice, you don't make that much changes.
Right.
But yeah, today's game's just like awful. But one of my upsets though is Colts versus Seattle. I have Grandpa Rivers getting the win over Seattle.
Jesus, that's ridiculous. The fact that they brought the Crypt Keeper out to play this game.
Do you know he's the second grandpa in the NFL?
Is he really? Who's the first?
Come on. We can think about this really hard.
Aaron Rodgers?
No.
And
his last season, his grandson was born.
You got me on that one. I'm sorry.
Okay. He's played for 4 teams. One he didn't really play for, got traded to another team, became a Hall of Fame quarterback with that team. And then he went to 2 other teams after, returning back for his last few seasons in that same division. He became a Hall of Fame quarterback. Last team he played for was the Vikings.
Oh, you're talking about Brett Favre?
Brett Favre was the first grandpa.
Gotcha.
He retired when his grandson was born.
Right.
Philip Rivers had a grandson born earlier this year. He was like, okay, I'm going back. I need his medical runs out this year.
Yeah.
He needs medical again.
Yeah, that's it.
For his whole family.
I was thinking it was, he wanted to get back. He didn't want Matt Stafford to beat him in passing yards.
I saw that because
it's funny.
Because you get 5 years after you're done, you get medical still. And they're like, oh, he needs the medical for that damn football team he has and all those kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, no one cares about him restarting his Hall of Fame. I said, yeah, because he knows he's not in the Hall of Fame right now.
Right.
So if he comes back and gets the Colts into the playoffs and keeps them in playoffs, because they dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Gets them in and keeps them in and maybe wins a playoff game, he probably gets into the Hall of Fame now. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, look what he did at 44 and not playing for 5 years. Obviously, he's the best option they have.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to sign him off the practice squad. You're bringing him in for the practice squad pretty much as a bench player. Right. You probably would have activated him, but you're not going to start him unless he's your best option to win. Or only. I don't even know who the damn third string was, because Anthony Richardson got hurt. I don't know who was behind him, but I think he got hurt. Like,
really?
It's crazy to even reach out to anybody. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and
I might watch that game. It's later, so I'll be watching the Packers, but I'm gonna keep an eye on that game to see how I should get Philip Rivers for my fantasy. I'm done anyway. It's been a horrible year. I haven't paid attention to my fantasy team, but enough to know I had players playing, and they just, Derrick Henry, Saquon, they just all sucked. It's like everyone who you thought was great was completely awful. Yeah. And just random people. Puka, sure. Jackson Smith, Jake Buzz's been one of the best receivers. I think he's actually number 1 in fantasy points. But you're like, okay, like I got Baker Mayfield. He's going to be okay. He's been all right. But who would have thought Daniel Jones would have been on my fantasy team at the end of the year? Then he gets hurt. Who would have thought Sam Darnold would still be on people's teams?
After week 4, I was doing well because I had Scatabo and Jackson Dart on my team. And then
they were playing good.
Yeah, they were. And then 3 weeks later, they're both injured. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do fantasy next year, man. This year was just
brutal.
I'm going to shoot myself. And I'm like, yeah, good thing I don't play for money. Like, this is awful. Yeah. That's why we call them morons. We know shit, I guess. Yeah. No one knows crap about football this year. I swear. You're like, this team, who's going to win? Everyone's like, I don't know. This team beat this team. And like, I see videos on this with these content creators, and they're like, we can't tell you who's good because, this team, the Packers look good, but then they lose to Carolina. But, oh, wait, Carolina actually might win the division. Yeah. So maybe it wasn't that bad of a loss. They tied the Cowboys. Oh, Cowboys aren't that bad, but then they're not that great. Yeah. But they beat the Eagles, but then they lose to the Giants. And then you're like, then they get the Packers beat the Bears, but yet the Bears have been beating, supposedly bad teams, but some of these teams ain't bad. Yeah. Like it's so up and down with who's winning what games. It's just like a shot in the damn dark. You make the playoffs, you have a chance. Yeah. Like, yes, I think someone in the NFC is going to win, but I can't tell you who. Yeah. I wouldn't even put any money on the Packers. Yes, they have one of the best defenses. Micah Parsons still had 10-plus sacks this season. Yeah. One of the best in the NFL since he started. He's getting triple team because other people could still get sacks. Yeah. And you look like that's a great defense, but yet they allow 21 points. Or the games they lose, they only allow 16, but 13. I think they lost 10-13 one time because the offense couldn't get together, but yet they have one of the most explosive offense. Yeah. How do you not win those games? It's like the defense plays so the offense can. And then you get that with the Chiefs. They freaking suck. So it's like, okay, you beat the Chiefs. It's not impressive anymore. But yet Pat Mahomes is not playing awful.
Right.
I mean, he's not throwing 5-6 interceptions a game.
Right.
I mean, I think his stats are worse than usual.
Yeah, but he's also doesn't have all the weapons he normally has either, though.
Well, I mean, everyone thought, oh, they started playing well, and then, okay, Rice is coming back, and that didn't help. I mean,
Right.
Let's see. Pat Mahomes' stats for the year is he's 63% completion percentage, almost 3,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. It's not like he's out there freaking killing them.
No.
I mean, he's not getting the touchdowns, but
the season. But I think
the defense, the offensive line, because they did lose some people to the Bears. I mean, it's one of those seasons that shit, I don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like we thought about that in college football too. It's just one of those random seasons that, you know what, whoever gets in the playoffs, just throw a dart at one of the teams, and just ride with them, right?
Yeah.
Like even me, I'm like, who am I gonna ride with this year? I might do that random generator, and I'm like, these are my 2 Super Bowl teams. I'm riding with it.
There you go.
I think the beginning of the year we all said Chiefs could be up there, maybe another team, but now you're looking at like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are playing again, and Andrew Luck with the Colts. Like your top 3 teams at one point were Patriots, Broncos, and Colts.
Yeah.
NFC, you had Seahawks. Like Russell Wilson's back in his prime, but it's Sam Darnold. Right. Daniel Jones led the Colts to a great season, which to me, the Giants and the Jets are still freaking damn cursed because Aaron Rodgers is out there playing decent for the Steelers. But then you got Justin Fields, and he completely sucked. But yeah, he played great until Russell Wilson played for the Steelers last year. Like he was going undefeated. And then you got Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterwood doing great, and they both get freaking hurt. It's one of those seasons that's just I don't know. And the Commanders had a great season last year, and they fell off. It's gonna be an interesting ending. I'm floored. I'm just can't think of the words. I mean, it's just these are so right. Like to guess who's going to win. You watch ESPN, I guarantee you they're going to tell you 500 different stories since the beginning of the season, and they're probably trying to figure out what to say about who because they don't know because they're trying to be experts, and you can't be an expert this season. I swear you can't. Bears winning it all. That's my pick. Screw it. Bears are going to win it all because their owner died.
No. Oh, you've got the conspiracy theory going. Forgot about that. Yeah.
No, I got the fact that painting your nails must make you a better player. Caleb Williams.
I know what you mean. I'm just like, what? No. So, let's see what else we got today. Anything going on in hockey?
Rangers suck. Hey, they won yesterday. Giving up 3 goals in the first period, but they scored second, 2 in the first period. They won 5-4, I think, in overtime. They got a point, but they're not making the playoffs. They're talking about trading Panarin, who one of their captains or top players, because you got to rebuild. And I understand they lost their coach and everything, but you're talking about they missed the playoffs last year. But right there, you're talking about a couple of years ago they were in the Stanley the semifinals, the Western Championship or Eastern Conference champion. My bad. Like they just fell, and it sucks. Now I know what it means to not have hope for your team at this time and be eliminated so early in the season. Like I know what Bears and Cubs fans felt like for years.
Right. So
because I'm a Packers fan, right? I mean, I understood from Brewers' perspective, but I never had hopes for them. But the fact that you have a championship team and then they're just like falling apart, like Igor, Jonathan Quick, they're not being the good goalies they should be, is bad. Although we are going to go to a hockey game.
We are.
Sioux City Musketeers.
Oh yeah.
You bum. If you guys see those videos, the people that go you bum or you stud are going to be in Sioux City to that game, and it looks like they're going to sit behind the penalty box. I told my mom, told Mrs. Google, and she said she's going to get the tickets.
Oh really?
And I'm like, well, let me know if you get them. If not, I'll still get mine and Cadence. They don't have the kids. And me and Caden are like so excited for that game that we're gonna go. We want to sit behind, and that's why we're like, where are they gonna sit? Like it's either behind that penalty box because it's not guaranteed the other team is gonna get a penalty.
Right.
So I thought maybe behind the bench.
Where they played that one game we went to.
I think you still sit behind the penalty box and you can still scream and yell, but they might be on the speaker maybe when a penalty happens or whatever. They're like, you bump. I don't know. or they sit behind the bench. I always thought you sit behind the bench because you could just yell at the team the whole time. But they're probably going to be behind the penalty box, so it's a little easier to hear them and kind of like interact with them a little bit more. And if your team goes in, you call them like, "Oh, I bet you keep bonfire going, you stud." So I'm definitely excited for that. Like it's not celebrity status, but they're pretty cool out there in face. It's cool to be there.
I just want to go have fun. That's what
Remember that one time we were there?
Mm-hmm.
It was around Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bet you go as yourself for Halloween. You went as yourself for Halloween, you bummed like the little kids did. I wonder if like some of those videos went viral and they saw something from that game.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we gotta go see what this is about.
Maybe.
I hope not, because they're from California. They're both free.
Yeah.
They're gonna come in like, oh, never mind, we want to go back.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. Not much else going on. Oh, what?
John Cena retired.
Oh yeah.
Tapped out, gave up. Never give up is a slow. See, I'm not mad that he lost to Gunther. I am, because Carl said that, oh, maybe Gunther's going to get Gunther's won a world championship. You don't need a big push.
Mm-hmm.
You should have had a Joe Hendry or a Javon Evans, who, by the way, wrestled last night, and they said from Greensboro, North Carolina. I love when they say that, because I'm like, I live there. I know that. I've seen that guy and met him. I mean, he does. He can watch this podcast. Want to know who I was, probably. Yeah. I had a couple interactions like Uber with him, and then he tapped out. To me, it's like, okay, your slogan is never give up. And he's like, he's never give up. He's fighting throughout the whole time. Then eventually he's just like smiling and tapping, I think, because it's over. But at the same time, it's like, should he have tapped? Maybe got pinned, but tap. I mean, but also Gunther kicked out like 7 AAs. Yeah. That's finishing fucking damn move. Yeah. One off the top rope. Like, you made John Cena look like a little bitch when he retired. Like, they booed Triple H when they came on, and then Triple H walked up and he got on the apron, and then when they booed him, and then when they finally had Cena looking at Triple H and shaking his hand, they were booing the shit out of him. Yeah. Because you fucked up. Yeah. You made Cena's special move look like it's nothing. Ooh. 7 AAs? It may not have been that much, but it was a lot. 7. Like, usually after 2 or 3, the other person is down. Like, I understand big match, blah, 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 kick out of finishers. But he's fighting out. He does a quick AA. Out of the sleeper hold, Gunther's finishing move for the submission. That should have been it. Because I was like, it's 4th one. And one was hardly off the top rope. One went through a fucking table. Mm-hmm. Then you had 2 other ones. Like, you had 4 or 5. Yeah. How is he not pinned after that? That's so stupid. It's so dumb the way it ended. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, if you're going to have Cena lose, that's fine. Right. You don't have him do his move 5 or 6 times. And then like 4 or 5 knuckle shuffles that go into the AA.
But kind of at the same time, right? I think they're trying to show the frailty of him as he's gotten older, right? I think that's a lot of it.
I understand, but like still 7 finishing moves. You think Goldberg's doing 7 spears and 7 jackhammers and they're kicking out of it, or 7 tombstones from the Undertaker? No, 2 tombstones, maybe 3 max.
But again, at the same time, right? It's like you said, he wants to be the first wrestler to actually retire, right? And so if you show that his finishing move is no longer a viable move to finish somebody, and you show that he has given up when he has never given up through his entire career, and that he just can't, that shows that he is no longer going to be there. Instead of coming back every year and a half or 2 years. And I understand what you're saying, right?
No, I'm agreeing with this. And I understand, like, okay, Gunther, cool, let's pass the torch to him. Yeah. But you should have just done someone younger, right? Yeah. You should have done someone who's not a champion or hasn't been a champion. Yeah. But could be on that cusp. Like Joe Hendry has the following.
Right. But can you show that with somebody who doesn't have the same reputation that Gunther has?
Right. But that's why I think, and I'm LA Knight maybe wins. Right. He's never won the world championship. Sure. Give him the push, right? Mm-hmm. He's got the following. He's got the charisma. He's got the wrestling skills. But again, he's also older. Gunther's a little bit younger, so you want to keep it with him.
Yeah, but let's see.
Gunther's probably 30-something. LA Knight's probably closer to 40. That's my guess. But the card was great because you had WWE versus NXT.
Yeah, he's 38. You need to get Gunther.
Now go look at LA Knight, though.
Okay.
He's got to be older than that. But you had Obi Femi, the NXT champion, versus Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Rhodes won by disqualification.
LA Knight's 43.
Okay, so they're around the same. And around now, those are the guys that get the push because they can wrestle till like 50.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you give the push to somebody in their late 20s?
Early 30s.
Sure, either way. Late 20s, early 30s, right? so
I
that you can
agree.
have somebody who's around for a while, right? Joe Hendry. How old is Joe Hendry? Probably 32. Let's see.
Somewhere around there.
Joe Hendry. If I can spell Joe correctly. There he is. 30. God, he's 37.
It took him a while to get big though too.
Yeah. They need to
But
find younger people because
it's hard because nowadays,
Yep.
when I say nowadays, I'm talking about like last 5 years, right? You're talking about people in their 35s to 40 range and getting that push, and only good till like 45, right? Because Oren's about ready to go.
Yeah.
But
should be.
last night you had great matches, and I think like Sol Ruka, who's NXT, who's younger, defeated Bailey, who's WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You had Javon Evans and Leon Slater, who are both 21, 23 and younger, NXT champion or TNA and X Division, the youngest at 21. Who, by the way, AJ Styles defined the X Division in TNA. And Javon Evans versus WWE Tag Team Champions Ray Phoenix Jr., who's from like AEW and stuff. Great. I think he's like in his 30s. AJ Styles beat Javon Evans and Leon Slater, but it was such a great damn match.
But AJ Styles is another one. He's like,
he's retiring next year. He already announced he's doing a retirement next year.
It's like what's his name? What's his name? The one that's been big lately in the WWE. He's got the short hair. Had a big Cena thing going. No, he was hurt for a while and he just came back in the last 3 years. God, what's his name? Is it Edge?
Who's in AEW now?
No, he's in WWE right now. This dude was
Cody Rhodes?
No, not Cody. Cody's also another one that's older, right?
Yeah, well, he's been around for a while.
And see, this kind of goes back to my Phillip Rivers conversation, right? You keep pulling these old guys out of retirement, right? And you're not allowing the younger generation you don't allow the younger generation to pick up the mantle because you keep going to the old guys. Well, right? And no offense to the older guys, right? They're great.
Cody's 40.
Yeah. I'm talking about who's the one? Oh God. He's got the short hair. I know, but it's kind of like LA Knight, but skinnier.
LA Knight was skinnier.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I'll give you just fill the void. I'll find out.
But yeah, you had good matches from NXT, and that's what the NXT brand is to build the younger superstars. But a lot of them want to stay in NXT for a long time because they got the following there, and they're afraid they're gonna get lost with Triple H on the depth chart. Now, I think
CM Punk.
Oh yeah, that's that guy. Yeah, CM Punk. Only they brought him back because he wanted to be back in WWE. They wanted him back.
That's fine. Start a freaking a seniors league. Start a seniors league.
So I think WWE what WWE needs to do. AEW is the same shit. John Moxley is still up there.
Yeah.
But what WWE or AEW, whatever you need to do, you got this developmental league of NXT. Obi Femi's been NXT champion now for like the second or third time.
Yep.
He needs to leave and be forced to go the thing. But you need, when you bring them up because they're the champion or whatever, got the popularity, like Joe Hendry right now, technically NXT. When he gets to WWE, you need to start putting the title on him or something.
Yeah, but NXT is a developmental league. You just said it. So
right, but when you bring them up, you need to start, like Javon Evans has been featured on SmackDown and this a lot. Okay, he's 20-something years old.
Right.
Okay, you need to put him in a title picture for the United States or the Intercontinental Champion.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
You can't just put them in for a WWE championship. Put them in the younger. If they got the popularity and they're getting the pop, then you let them lose the belt and start pursuing maybe a tag team championship.
Right.
Or see how they would do up there, or start pursuing the WWE. Because you want someone who's 25 to 30 to start going for the championship. So by the time they're 30, maybe 35, they win it. They had the popularity for a few years. They win it. And then you can have them be the face. Yeah. They did that with Roman when he was young. Now he was up the face for like freaking 10 years.
But again, he's also
in his late 40s. But now they're not putting him in that picture.
Right.
Good. That's fine. Cody's getting that picture because he's been gone for a while. He has the popularity. That's cool. But in the next 2 years, when he's like 42, you need to start draining their popularity and bringing the 35-year-old up.
Well, my thing is this, right?
Because they should be popular for about 5 years or 6 years before they start declining and give it to someone else who's 35, 30.
Yeah, well, all those guys were in their late 20s when I was watching wrestling back in the old days, right? Okay, old days. I'm going to go 80s and 90s, all right? Before you were born, for the most part.
Well, Cena started when he was 20-something, but it was late 2000, early 2000s.
Right, but look at
but they did him right. Sure. Him and Orton both were champions by 21, 22, 23.
Right, but they started shifting older and older, and they can't get out of it now. It's like you need
to move it over.
You need to bring it back to the left to the younger guys, right?
To the and Triple H. Yes, I understand Triple H is trying to do business and this and this, but WWE messed up with doing TKO in this because now it's all about money. Right. So yes, Cody Rhodes brings money. CM Punk brings money. John Cena brings money. Randy Orton brings money. Yeah. These younger guys aren't going to bring you money because you're not giving them the chance.
Right, exactly. You'll never you're creating a bathtub where you're going to run out of old guys because they're just not going to physically be able to do it anymore, and you're not going to have any new guys coming up the back end to
like your biggest money maker. You just signed from TNA,
right?
Joe Hendry, who great following,
right? But again,
he's just saw how old he was.
He's 37. He's on the upper end of age.
That's when you need to start putting the belt on him because now he's got 3-4 years of popularity making you money, and then he starts declining a little bit, meaning like his popularity is still good, but maybe he's not. Now he's like a United States Intercontinental Champion to promote the younger guys to beat him, to get them over, to get up to the title picture.
Exactly. He should be a transitional figure as much as we all love Joe Hendry because he's got a great gimmick, but he should be a transitional figure to bring the younger fighters up.
See, last night was one of the best
NXT
segments.
Yeah.
Was Miz goes, I should be because I'm one of Cena's biggest rivals. He had 2 chances in the tournament.
Yeah.
But the reason he got the second chance is R-Truth came out in all the John Cena gear and he did a little rap saying Cena's the greatest, but he did the what's up, but he rapped about Cena. Was a great freaking rap.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, I got R-Truth's like white album on my iPhone because it's just he's a good singer too. But he come out. I saw what you did with Nick Aldis' balls because the balls of the names or whatever. It makes it, funny. Balls, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, here's my 2 balls. He's like, I don't need your balls. I got my own truth. He goes, oh, you want to use your own balls? I see how it is. Like, joking, right? He goes, I saw what you did with Nick Aldis' balls. This is the one you replaced the real name, your name with this person's name. You took this spot away from somebody because the Miz, when Aldis was looking at Truth, put a ball out of his pocket and it replaced the one that Nick Aldis pulled.
Yeah.
He goes, this is who it is. He pulled it out, and you can kind of see through the paper. I know who it was. He's like, and he mouthed it. He goes, Joe Hendry, and all of a sudden say his name. And there he was on the apron, right? Yeah. And him and R-Truth beat up Miz or whatever. It was great. It was great. I saw the name. I saw Hendry. I'm like, oh, it's Joe Hendry. Yeah. And then he was still in it last night because they're trying to spotlight NXT because John Cena did this pay-per-view to get NXT stars up there because John Cena is great, wants to develop the future. Why aren't we doing that then? Triple H, why aren't you doing what John Cena wants to do? Move these people from NXT. Yes, you're going to have less viewers on NXT, and you should.
Yeah.
These people need to be in WWE now. Yes. Obi Femi is a big dude. Big black guy. I mean, muscular, everything. Like, he's the ruler of NXT. Put him up there against Gunther. Put him against the guy.
My thing is NXT, like you said, right? It's supposed to be a developmental league, but they've turned it from an developmental league into another brand, right? So instead of using it to develop new talent that should be there for no more than 3 to 5 years, they're just continue to wrestle there. So they've got 2 different groups instead of using it like a G League in basketball, right? Where you got 3 to 5 years. Those guys want to move up. You get them popular, get them moving. And then you move them up to the big time, right? At the same time, you're having to get these older guys out. Like Shawn Michaels should no longer be wrestling.
He's not. He's part of NXT. He's the GM of NXT.
The GM. Well, you know what I mean, right? You got these guys that are in their 50s that are still trying to wrestle. Get them out. They should be gone. Cena
comes out for a pop or whatever and talk. But
sure, but
maybe a sweet shit music here. They're like Stone Cold will come out for a stunner every once in a while.
But still, at the same time, right? These guys should be out. You shouldn't have these late 40s, early 50 guys in there. because they need to be transitioning the young guys from NXT to the big time, right? And if they can't develop a brand and the person can't develop a brand and a following at NXT, then you drop them and you find somebody else.
Obi Femi, I've watched him a few times.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
This dude last night, I thought was one of the best spots too for a match. Cody Rhodes won by disqualification because McIntyre attacked Cody Rhodes. So Femi was down. He gets up, pulls McIntyre out, and McIntyre looks straight at him, and Femi just pushes them. I mean, pushes him down, right? Like power, because this dude is like when I say he's big, he's also he's not fat, he's muscular and tall. He's about the height, maybe a little bit taller than Drew McIntyre. Look, I mean, that dude's a beast. That dude should be in the WWE fighting for a championship.
He's Nigerian. That's cool.
This dude pushed the shit out of McIntyre. What he needs to do is lose that belt somehow, some way. He needs to lose that belt again. To Cody D'Angelo, whatever his name is. He beat him for North American.
Yeah.
Lose it to him. He's been rebranded. Lose it to him. Come to end SmackDown and have a rivalry with Drew McIntyre.
Right.
Beat Drew McIntyre and this is son, and then he beats Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Maybe Cody Rhodes turns heel. Keep this guy at face. He could be a heel.
Yeah.
And that should be. Look how old he is. How old is he?
Who?
Obi
Femi. Oh shit. I don't know. I didn't look. Obi Femi is born in 98, so he's 27 years old.
Right now is the time. Right now is the time to transition him to SmackDown, and within a year, win the Royal Rumble and go on at WrestleMania and win the WrestleMania match against either Punk, whoever the champion is. Make the champion Drew McIntyre and have him face Drew McIntyre and beat Drew. That to me was like, okay, we're gonna have Obi Femi on SmackDown eventually. He's gonna go for the title, and maybe McIntyre's finally gonna get revenge on Cody Rhodes, get the belt from Cody Rhodes because that's what he's obsessed with, and then he wins the Royal Rumble and beats him at WrestleMania.
There you go.
I don't think he should win WrestleMania right away, but maybe before WrestleMania,
be part of the.
Maybe he faces him at Royal Rumble and takes the belt off of McIntyre.
Right.
You don't need to give him a Royal Rumble win and a WrestleMania win to be the champion.
Right.
Like he needs to be in that picture,
but at least
he's 27.
Right.
He's that dude. That's a champion looking. That guy looks like a world champion. Like if he beats somebody, you're not looking at it like, oh, Rey Mysterio won. Like, you're looking at it and going, that's a champion. Right. That's what you need as a champion too. Like you can't just have these. Oh well, we want the smaller guy to win, and that's fine every once in a while. Cool, sure. But, Rey Mysterio beat Triple H and Shawn Michaels or whoever, whatever, cool back in the day. But if you want people to watch, you need to have a W champion looking like that, winning against Cody Rhodes. Because if Cody Rhodes versus him, you look them on the tape, you're like, Cody Rhodes doesn't stand a chance. That dude's taller than Cody Rhodes. That dude's muscular as shit.
Yeah.
But I understand it's wrestling. It's whatever. But that guy looks like it. That guy has the following.
Right.
That's what you need as your champion.
Develop younger players.
I don't think Joe Hendry should ever be a WWE champion. Yeah. If you want to give him the belt because of popularity, cool. He is more a mid-card guy that everyone loves to see. He'll get in the Hall of Fame because he's a mid-card guy with the following. He's a U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion at best. Same with Sami Zayn, unfortunately. Yeah. But those can be Hall of Famers. Those can be guys like R-Truth. Yeah. Those are guys that you bring in for comedy, you bring in for the entertainment value. They have a little good wrestling ability, but they're not championship material. Right. I don't believe putting a champion on a person just because they have the following. They have to have all the credentials of a good wrestler, good mic skills, good this. If you're good on the mic and you can wrestle a little bit, but you don't look like the champion, then you should be a mid-carder. Every once in a while thrown in the title picture, sure. Yeah. But never the true champion. Right. And that's where WWE goes, oh, well, I mean, Joe Hendry deserves it because he has the following. No. He's great. I love Joe Hendry. We all love him, just like we all love R-Truth.
He's got a good gimmick, but
you're not going to be more than that comedy or that gimmick or whatever to be a mid-carder. It's still, you can still be in the Hall of Fame and have a Hall of Fame career because you brought what wrestling wants. You brought the entertainment. You brought the fans. Yeah. You deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame isn't just by accolades, how many times you're a crown champion. Again, this is fake. This is scripted. This is this. So you have to have the entertainment value. You have the entertainment value, you should be able to be in the Hall of Fame. It shouldn't just be given to anybody. It should be like Stephanie's getting the Hall of Fame. Why? Just because she's Vince's daughter? Just because she's Triple H's wife? No. You have to contribute to something,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the entertainment value. Obafemi looks like he could be a champion. Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk has the mic skills, and the wrestling skills. Mm-hmm. John Cena does.
Oh my God, he's so deserves it.
He should be the only Hall of Fame nominee for the year he gets in.
Yeah.
Again, The Rock, Stone Cold, these people have contributed so much,
Mm-hmm.
whether they were champions at the biggest level or not. I think Mr. Perfect wasn't. Ted DiBiase was. Who's another? Piper. Piper was not a world champion.
Yeah.
He was an intercontinental.
Mm-hmm.
Got it in.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man. Now again, they had the entertainment.
Yeah, but you're also talking about guys from my era of
but they had the entertainment. They had Piper had the mic skills.
Oh yeah.
He may have been playing James wrestler, but he had the mic skills. He was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Ted DiBiase. Okay, yeah, he was champion, but he was mic skills. He was the guy you love to hate. He kicked the basketball from a little kid
that was
at number 9 because he's like, oh, sorry, sometimes you can't win.
Yeah.
Like, you have that value, you deserve a Hall of Fame. Yeah. Just giving it to anybody like Stephanie McMahon. Yeah. Like, think women's wrestlers, right? Fabulous Moolah, you got people who paved the way, but Trish Stratus, Lita, they were the first real wrestlers. Yeah. They deserved it. They had the entertainment, but they also could kick butt. China physically dominating. Yeah, she won a men's championship because they showed how physical she was. Mm-hmm. Deserves it because she changed the game of what a women's wrestler looks like. Right. Doesn't look all pretty, right? Beth Phoenix, same thing. Dominant looking, big, physical. Mm-hmm. Nia Jax is going to get it. She's physical. They changed the game of the way it was, and you remember these people if you're a wrestling fan.
Because Nia Jax is the Andre Giant of the females right now.
R-Truth, to me, deserves a Hall of Fame. Yeah. Santino Marella. You remember these names not because of what they did, but the entertainment they brought. Right. That, to me, deserves a Hall of Fame nominee. If you want to put a special section called the clown section or whatever, sure. Put it in and give it to me.
You should have faces. You should have heels, and you should have clowns. I really think that those are the three.
When they give out Hall of Fames, right? Yeah. And you think of like The Undertaker, right? Goldberg, it's just big names, right? But you got like some like Triple H, undeniable. Mm-hmm. One of the best heels, could be a face with DX and everything. Yeah. But Randy Orton, right? To me, one of the best heels. He's a good face, but you love to hate the guy, right? Edge. You love to hate the guy because when he was a heel, he was so much better. Yeah. Chris Jericho, Mr. Gimmick himself, who was the same gimmick, but you made the list, was a thing that he didn't even think was going to be a thing. Yeah. And it became a thing, right? He says, you'll never be the same again, right? Instead of again, right? I say that ever again. I think of that every time I see the word again. I just think of him saying again, right? You got these people. Pat McAfee has to be. Yeah. He wasn't there long. He's not there all the time. Yeah. But when you think of Pat McAfee, he brings a new level of commentators. You have Wade Barrett now being a little bit when Pat McAfee's there. You have Michael Cole yeeting because Pat McAfee did it, and Michael Cole's like, I'm going to do it too. Yep.
He wasn't there for a long time, but he was there for.
He's there, and when he comes and he does this, or he wrestles, he can wrestle a little. He shows that, hey, you have a guy who brings the charismatic, everything about what you want to see, right? When Jey Uso's coming out in the eating and Michael Cole starts doing it because Pat McAfee got him to do stuff like this, how do you not give him the Hall of Fame? Yes, you have Jerry the King Lawler, Jim Ross, Michael Cole, normal commentators becoming Hall of Famers. Yeah. But then you got Pat McAfee, who deserves every bit of it because he brings the energy. Yeah. People like that always, to me, will have a special place in my heart. Mm-hmm. Like R-Truth, right? Yeah. He just comes out, brings the serious situations in, like ladder matches. He's like, I'm going to win money in the. You're not even in the match. I'm not. My bad, y'all. Yeah. My bad. You got Kane laughing or Roman Reigns. You say something about Brock Lesnar and you have him laughing. Like he comes in to lighten the mood and get everyone to laugh. Mm-hmm. Like there's one time they're talking about some championship thing. And I'll never forget this. Dolph Ziggler talks. He goes, and then eventually R-Truth goes, Dolph, I'll not be talking down to by someone named after Flipper. Because he's a dolphin, right? Dolph, like, to me, that was hilarious. Or he gets in the Royal Rumble match and he starts climbing the ladder. He's like, where's the briefcase? Because he thinks he's in Money in the Bank. Or he goes in the women's match. He goes, wait, what? Oh, it's not my. My bad. He went to the women's rumble match, not the men's.
Yeah, my bad, New Orleans.
He's like, oh, this isn't mine.
Yeah.
Why are they all women then? Like to him, just randomly. Or I got a hometown hero who's named L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
They're in Louisiana. He thinks L.A. Knight. He goes, Louisiana Knight. It's L.A., like L.A., California.
Los Angeles.
Like just something like that.
Yeah.
I don't care what his accolades were.
Yeah.
Lil Jimmy, everything. Like you hear the name R-Truth and you've watched wrestling. Like you don't even really watch wrestling much. But you know R-Truth because of the clips and the little bit you do watch, right?
Yeah.
But then you got people who define like tag team, the Hardys, the Dudleys, right? They're going to get in because what they have defined.
Yeah.
To me, Hall of Fame, just like the NFL, MLB, WWE needs to run in. Can you talk about the history of wrestling without them?
Yeah.
If you can't, they get in.
No, absolutely.
Right? And then there should be another thing is, do you remember their gimmicks? Do you remember certain things about them?
Yeah.
You're always going to remember Joe Hendry. You're always going to remember R-Truth. You're always going to remember Santino Marella
with the snake.
Foley, right? You're going to remember certain people who may not have been main event material. Sami Zayn, you're going to remember Sami Zayn, especially when him in the bloodline.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. And he goes, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief said. Jimmy said that. And Roman Reigns looked up and he goes, I'm sorry, he's not feeling oozy. Right? He said the word oozy and it became a thing. And even Roman started laughing like, oozy? Paul Heyman laughed, right? You're going to remember Sami Zayn for that.
Yep.
There's certain gimmicks you're going to remember because of the comedic value. Yeah. And yes, you could tell wrestling without them, but they're always going to be remembered.
Right.
If you remember them, like if someone goes, do you remember the Repo Man? Remember the Repo Man?
Yeah.
You might, but I guarantee you I go to Jake or Carl, they're not going to remember him.
But yeah.
But they started watch later, right? Yeah. Carl's old enough. He's older than me.
That's true.
But he might not have watched it back then.
Right. Do you remember the Big Boss Man?
I remember the Big Boss Man.
Again, he wasn't even wrestling when you were alive.
Yes,
was he?
He was in the Attitude Era with Vince McMahon as the corporation.
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't as dressed as a police officer. He was dressed as like a security with a night baton. But I remember Big Boss Man. But Vader.
Yeah.
Right? We remember Vader. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But remember, what else did he do? He was on Boy Meets World. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
He was on Boy Meets World as one of the bullies' dad.
Yeah.
He goes, Feedy. Like, he's like, calm down. Like, Feedy, like, he stood up to him because he's like, you're my student, Francis, or whatever you call him, Francis or something. But people like Vader made the Hall of Fame because not only what he did in the ring, but what he remembers.
Yeah.
Also, did I send you that clip?
Which one?
The Boy Meets World with Topanga, Eric, and Sean. They had a special guest.
No, I don't know.
And they said, yeah, we got a wrestler, blah, blah, blah. I think they released it early, but it was supposed to be on Monday, tomorrow.
Okay.
And they're like, dude, John Cena, whatever. And like, who's the wrestler? His name's Joe Hendry. And also say his name. Yeah. He turned around in the chair. Oh, it was great. But Topanga's a huge wrestling fan, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Out of those three, Topanga is the one that's a wrestling fan. Not Eric or the guy that plays Sean or Eric. It's Topanga. You would expect that.
Yeah.
But Hornswoggle's another one.
Yeah.
Didn't do enough, but everyone's gonna remember a Hornswoggle, little midget running around. Great. Yeah. But then you got other people that a lot of people don't remember that I remember. Like you remember Dolph Ziggler, but no one remembers part of the Spirit Squad. No one's gonna remember the Spirit Squad. They try to be comedy cheerleaders. No one really remembers.
Right.
No one remembers
the New Day.
Oh, they're gonna be in the Hall of Fame, but that's because they're tag team. But like they made an impact in the tag team, but they were also comedy, but they were serious and won. Usos, right? They're gonna remember. But then there's people that not a lot of people remember, and I remember Maria. She was beautiful and everything, but she didn't have any talent.
Right.
She was there for looks, and she wasn't a good wrestler. Wasn't very good comedy. Like every once in a while, she'd forget or like play dumb and ditz like a ditzy woman. But no one's gonna remember her, right? No one's gonna remember the Hurricane as much. I love the Hurricane. Like a Superman, he'd be a reporter, and all of a sudden the Hurricane would come out. Like it was comedy, but it wasn't like comedy, right? The Rock called him the Hamburglar, right? No one, a lot of remember Coach as like the reporter or whatever, but Rock called him a popcorn farm. Right? That's his biggest. Like some of these people you just don't remember. Wade Barrett. Not a lot of people remember Wade. I remember Wade Barrett. I remember a lot of like when people go, "Oh, you remember this guy, this guy, this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know that." And I could probably sing the theme song or recognize the theme song.
Yeah.
And then I'll think about them, but no one remembers them.
Yeah.
Those people never deserve the Hall of Fame. Like if you go to a Hall of Fame, and I don't care how old they were, right? The wrestling. Because if you've been a wrestling fan since like the early 90s or even earlier, some of these people they name, I'm like, who the hell was that? I don't care if they wrestled in the 50s.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're not a big name. You just give it to them because of age or whatever.
Right.
Like even in the 90s, right? If you have a casual fan now who doesn't know someone from the 90s, early, especially late 90s when you had the Attitude Era,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, I love this guy, and they come to me, well, who was this guy? They don't deserve the Hall of Fame. Sorry, you remember the New Age Outlaws?
Yeah.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ass and Road Dogg, right? You remember that with DX and everything. Remember them on their own,
right?
But if you have someone that comes in from the especially the late 90s, and you don't remember them, do they deserve a Hall of Fame bid?
Right.
I don't care if they were a 3-time champion. No. Not a lot of people remember Bob Backlund. Exactly. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a champion, and he was just an average Joe cross-faced chicken wing.
Yeah.
I know more than most wrestling fans because I knew the history and listened to this and watched old videos. Because I'd go to the movie store and get wrestling videos, probably from before I was born or could remember, and just watch VHS tapes. That's how I remember the Repo Man. What's yours is what's mine is mine. What's yours is mine also, right? Like you just steal your stuff because he's repoing it.
Right.
But no one remember. A lot of people remember Donk the Clown, but some people don't.
Yeah.
But he was one of the first comedy gimmicks to me.
Yeah.
But he was also an okay wrestler. I think that's my stance on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You have to make a memory of some kind to where you don't forget it.
Yeah.
I follow you.
So that was my little rant of wrestling because they're getting to the part where they just start giving it to people.
Yeah.
Like, I understand people are going to know Stephanie McMahon. One, because, Triple H or Chris Jericho called her a cheap hooker and all this other stuff.
But she's married to
Triple H and was the boss for the longest time, the Boston daughter. No longer the Boston daughter because he got ran out. But let's go to other things.
Him and Chris Cuomo. But Andrew
Cuomo,
whatever. So anyway, great show today. I appreciate it. It was a good day.
Next week we'll do another one.
No, next week. No, I'll be out of town next week, so you'll be solo, won't you? No. I'll be here this next weekend. Yeah.
Yes.
The following week.
I'll leave
Christmas. Yep.
So the week before Christmas, we'll probably have a podcast. Yep. But the week after, I don't know if we will or not because I think we're all busy.
Yeah, we're all going to be either out of town or doing. It's Christmas, guys. We're gonna
we're
going to be taking
between Christmas and New Year's. Yep. It's kind of hard to do a podcast.
Yeah,
and doing solo is okay, but now you're just talking to the camera and we have no viewers right now. So if you don't have anyone here interacting, it's kind of like, hey, this is my thought. Okay, cool. Have a good day.
Yep. All right, we can do something short. Maybe we'll try to do something during the week and post it up on Sunday. We'll figure it out.
I've been doing once in a while. I've been doing posting here and there, like, hey, this is my picks. This is my. I didn't go over my bowl picks today, but I could do a little video of that.
Well, we already went over the fact that half the bowls are useless. So
I made picks, but they're at my desk at work because I already picked. I think I picked Washington to beat Boise State, so I got that one right. I don't think I had SC State winning or whoever won. Okay. I might have picked them. I'll look into that. But I'll post a video of like who I picked. Pretty much all I picked this person. Didn't pick the playoff games because as you can see they were right there, and I believe I took a picture of it.
Yep. We're gonna post it.
If I didn't, I'm gonna take another picture of it. Yep. So that way we have it up there to see how wrong or right I am. I do have Georgia winning it all against Oregon. I just think eventually Indiana is just going to have – they have two tough games. You got Oklahoma or Alabama, and then you got to win and go play Texas Tech or Oregon, right? And I don't think they're going to – I think they're just going to have a tough time with two straight hard games. Ohio State has the easier game, right? They have Miami or Texas A&M. To me, it's easier than Oregon or Texas Tech.
Yeah.
With Oklahoma or Alabama before then. Tulane, Ole Miss has a bye. And then they play Georgia, who pretty much had a bye, so they both had byes.
Yep. All right, it's getting cold in here. Let's call this a show. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Have a good night, guys.
Yep.
Or day, I guess.
See you next week. Bye. And we're out.